Good evening, I'm Matt Woodman. This is CTV News at 5. Tonight, an agreement in principle. Alberta teachers must decide whether to accept a tentative deal with the province. Helping the hungry, support for the increasing number of students showing up to school without breakfast. And an icy rivalry, the Canadian and American women's hockey teams will face off in Edmonton.
CTV Edmonton, local breaking news with Matt Woodman.
A tentative agreement has been reached between the province and the Alberta Teachers Association. It's now up to teachers to decide if it's good enough and therefore avoid a strike. CTV's Nara Manisa has the latest.
Most of the parents, they are working, and if the strike is happening, it will be a challenge for us, where to keep our kids.
This mom of three is happy to hear that the Alberta Teachers Association and the province have reached a tentative agreement. The province's 51,000 teachers will now vote on this deal this weekend.
If the deal looks a lot like what we saw in the spring, I have my doubts.
A labor relations professor believes not much will have changed in this tentative deal. He says there is a high level of anger and frustration among teachers in the province.
The two sets of negotiating teams hopefully recognize that and have figured out something to put in there for them. But if it looks like the deal I think it might be, I wouldn't be holding my breath.
The ATA issued a statement writing, "Teachers do not take the decision before them lightly. They recognize what is on the line with this vote and remain committed to an outcome that prioritizes the future of our public education system."
We saw a lot of both parties talking at the public about things and not to each other. And so they've gone extraordinarily quiet since late last week, and I think that was a sign that they had gotten serious and they were buckling down and they're saying, okay, what do we need to do?
While both sides are not releasing the specifics of the deal, the province says the tentative agreement is strong on classroom investment. The ATA added that its educators will consider the tentative agreement that addresses salary and classroom complexity issues, which includes a commitment to hire an additional 3,000 teachers over the next 3 years. Parents have been warned to prepare childcare in case of a strike. The YMCA says more than 1,500 children are signed up for its day programs. Other parents are weighing their options.
And I'm working, my husband working, so there is no other option for me, only the daycare. And daycare means I have to pay money for that.
If a deal is not reached, teachers are expected to go on strike October 6th. Nara Manisa, CTV News, Edmonton.
The man accused of starting a deadly apartment fire near White Avenue was in court late this afternoon. Jason Zabos was before a justice hoping to be granted bail. As CTV's Amanda Anderson reports, his request was denied.
In January 2024, flames ripped through this apartment building near 79 Avenue and 107 Street. A fire, investigators say, was deliberately set. 7 people were taken to hospital. A 70-year-old man didn't make it out. His body was discovered months later after family reported him missing. Edmonton police were at the building in the hours before the fire, helping another agency execute a court order on a man in a main floor suite. They say that's where the fire started. Jason Zabos was arrested shortly after. He's charged with manslaughter, 2 counts of arson with disregard for human life, disobeying a court order, obstruction, and mischief. During a contested bail hearing this afternoon, Zabos was given permission to sit next to his lawyer as she argued why he should be released. A publication ban prevents us from reporting what happened during the hearing. It lasted about an hour, with the justice ultimately deciding to deny his bail application. Zabos has been in custody since his arrest in May 2024, where he'll stay until his trial, which is scheduled to start next September. Amanda Anderson, CTV News, Edmonton.
Rescuers in southern Alberta are looking at bringing in reinforcements from the military in their search for a missing 5-year-old boy. Alberta Search and Rescue says talks with the armed forces and other groups have focused on which resources would benefit search efforts. Since Sunday, crews have been scouring the Crow's Nest Pass area looking for Darius McDougall. RCMP say the boy did not return to a campground from a walk with 6 young family members. Mounties say the boy's family is receiving support from victim impact services. Some evacuees from Chippewan Lake are returning home. They were forced to leave back in May just before a devastating wildfire leveled the northern Alberta hamlet 450 kilometers north of Edmonton. The hamlet says 38 of its 62 homes were destroyed. 37 people have now returned to the east side of the lake, which was untouched by the fire. The municipal district is working to provide temporary accommodations. The MD's Reeves says the rollout is expected to begin in the coming weeks, allowing more evacuees to return home.
Chippewan Lake is unfortunately the one where we actually had homes lost. This is over close to 50% of the community that was lost in the fire. Very difficult when you fly over and see the devastation from the air, because that fire covers so much area.
The hamlet also lost its senior center and had major damage done to its water treatment plant. A temporary plant is expected to open in the coming weeks. Until then, the community continues to drive in water from Wabasca, roughly 2 hours away. New interim housing will be available for people in Jasper who lost their homes during last year's wildfire. The Jasper Coordination Center is offering dormitory-style accommodations at Marmot Meadows. The recreational area is next to Whistler's Campground. The spaces are available for a fixed-term lease from October until the end of April. Earlier this year, 300 interim housing units were made available. Parks Canada says there's 500 people using interim housing in town. The Alberta government is calling the federal gun buyback program an attack on law-abiding firearms owners. A pilot project in Nova Scotia will be open to eligible gun owners in parts of Cape Breton before being rolled out nationwide. Participants can either deactivate their firearm using a licensed gunsmith or return it to police. In a joint statement, Alberta Justice Minister Mickey Amery and Public Safety Minister Mike Ellis say the province will not be enforcing the gun grab. They say they expect law enforcement to focus on violent criminals and not hunters and sport shooters. The Forever Canadian group is hitting the road to gather more signatures for its petition. Former Alberta politician Thomas Lukaszuk is behind the group, trying to get the province to declare remaining in Canada its official policy. He needs to collect nearly 300,000 signatures. Over the next few weeks, Lukaszuk will be traveling by motorhome throughout the province to drum up support. While the total number of signatures collected so far is unknown, one volunteer says she's gathered more than 1,200.
People are so happy to see me coming right around to their door because they don't know where to go and get signs, signatures, to take their signatures. So people are welcoming me into their home, and they're very happy to see us.
We now know that in order to reach that number, we can't just collect signatures in large cities. We have to reach out to rural Alberta and to give everybody an opportunity to sign this petition.
Lukaszuk says the first batch of petitions will be coming later this week. That's when they'll know how close they are to reaching 300,000 signatures. They have until October 28th to collect those names. Edmonton's big guns will make their preseason debut at Rogers Place tonight. Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl will be in the lineup when the Oilers face the Seattle Kraken at 7 o'clock. Trent Frederick will join them on the team's top line. He joined the Oilers late last season when he was traded by the Boston Bruins. Frederick says he's excited about the opportunity.
I'm just going to get to the net, work hard, try to get the puck as much as I can, just enjoy it. And, it's a great opportunity. It's just to play one game with him would be awesome, so it'll be cool.
I do want to have him play with those guys for a little bit and get some chemistry. Freddie hasn't had the opportunity to play top six very much in his career, and feel that hopefully he can complement him.
The Oilers have 4 preseason games remaining after tonight. Their regular season begins with the Battle of Alberta on October 8th. And Rogers Place will host elite-level women's hockey this winter. The Canadian women's hockey team will take on the United States in an annual rivalry series in Edmonton, December 10th and 13th. It has been 8 years since the series has been on Alberta ice. Rogers Place says it's looking forward to hosting more women's sports.
It's super important for us to show our support for the women's team going into the Olympics, and very, very excited that they're coming here to Rogers Place for the final 2 games of the rivalry series.
Here, the series will include 4 games, with Buffalo and Cleveland each hosting a game. It will be the last time the 2 teams meet ahead of the Winter Olympics in Italy this coming February. Well, Josh, I'm so excited. It's hockey season again, and it's beginning to feel like it out there. A little cooler today.
Yeah, it was kind of a one-off today. Temperatures tomorrow should get back into the low 20s, although that as well isn't really going to last all that long. This was the first time in 19 days, well, 20 days. We had 19 straight where we were in the 20s for daytime highs. The first time since early September, and just the second time this month that we've had temperatures below 20 for a high. We're at 16 right now, 14s and 15s outside the city. Looks like 16 is going to end up as the daytime high for today. So, yes, a lot cooler than it has been, but no worse than around average. 17 is the average daytime high, and even the morning low. A little chilly this morning, but right on par with the seasonal norms. We did have lots of cloud cover, though, through the first half of the day. Most of the showers fell apart before they hit the Edmonton area. There were a couple sprinkles that went through, but it was raining a lot heavier outside the city, especially off to the west. You had a good 20 to 30 millimeters worth of rain. Hinton north towards Grand Cache. There were even some thunderstorms early this morning in the Hinton area. You can see how all of that has kind of fallen apart. The clouds are starting to clear out a little bit, and with that clearing and after a cool afternoon, we now have frost advisories for high level and east central and parts of northeastern Alberta. So city of Edmonton not included, but areas off to the north, east, and off to the south and southeast of the city do have the potential for some patchy frost early tomorrow morning. Most areas are not going to see a killing frost, but a couple spots will dip a degree or two below zero. Here in the city, we should stay a handful of degrees above zero. 5 degrees tomorrow morning and about 21 or 22 with mainly sunny to partly cloudy skies through the day tomorrow. Full look at your 5 and 10-day forecast in a couple minutes.
All right, Josh, thank you. Coming up next on CTV News, the growing breakfast club. The number of students going to school hungry on the rise in Alberta.
It started out at about 30 students, and now every day we feed approximately 250.
Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law. Brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
Alberta now leads the country in the rate of children living in food insecurity. The Breakfast Club of Canada says tens of thousands of kids are showing up to school hungry. CTV's Nicole Lampa has more.
I prefer that they're nice and warm.
Miguel St. Pierre volunteers at St. Joseph High School's free daily breakfast program. He knows what it's like to go to school without healthy food.
I used to come here in grade 10 and I didn't know we had the breakfast club, and I'd be hungry all day.
According to the Breakfast Club of Canada, about 1 in 3 kids go to school hungry countrywide. It says the number has climbed in Alberta, with nearly 40% of children in our province now living in a food insecure household, an increase of 30% in 1 year. The organization says Alberta now has the highest child food insecurity rate among all provinces. Teacher Nathan Bai has seen the jump. He took over the breakfast program at St. Joseph 8 years ago.
It started out at about 30 students, and now every day we feed approximately 250.
The Breakfast Club of Canada is now fundraising to help offset costs.
It is really due to the rise in food cost and the cost of living, and so that also reflects, of course, in the lives of students and their families.
A local family doctor says healthy food in the morning is essential for young minds.
So we need those calories for our brain, to fuel our brain, and we also know that it's important for the growth and development of a child too. So it's absolutely critical.
Miguel agrees, saying he noticed the difference as soon as he joined the Breakfast Club.
And once I found out, I would start eating breakfast and get my energy in the morning, and I do a lot better in school.
The Breakfast Club of Canada says, despite recent help from the UCP government, it's now dealing with an unprecedented strain in Alberta. Nicole Lampa, CTV News, Edmonton.
And Alberta's Education and Child Care Ministry says the price of food has dramatically increased over the past few years. It points to recent government spending to address food insecurity, including $42 million for the rollout of the National School Program, on top of money to support Alberta's school nutrition program. The Edmonton Oilers Community Foundation is matching donations to local charities for the first part of the hockey season. The foundation says it will match every $25 donation made from today until January 24th. The donation match will max out at $1 million total. The foundation is marking its 25th anniversary. There are 5 charities that will be supported through this initiative, including Every Kid Deserves a Shot and Hockey Fights Cancer.
Investments from the Edmonton Oilers Community Foundation have led to new treatments for cancer that are being manufactured right here in oil country. And the impact of that is not just in our community, but it'll spread across the country and around the world.
Every $25 will also earn the donor a spot in a draw to meet players with the Edmonton Oilers. A full list of the charities can be found on the Edmonton Oilers Community Foundation website. An Edmonton Oilers player is taking a leave of absence from the team after his father died. The Oilers say Vasily Podkolzin's father died suddenly last night. He's returning to Russia to be with his family. Podkolzin signed a 3-year contract extension with the team just yesterday. Still to come tonight on CTV News, downtown dinosaurs, how the Royal Tyrrell Museum is celebrating its 40th anniversary.
Programming brought to you by Basement Systems Edmonton. Contact us today for all things basement-y.
The Royal Tyrrell Museum in Drumheller is celebrating its 40th anniversary by sending exhibits to libraries across the province. This pop-up is at the Stanley A. Milner Library downtown. The Royal Tyrrell Museum of Paleontology is Canada's only museum dedicated to the study of ancient life. It's also home to one of the world's largest displays of dinosaurs. Josh, it cooled down a little bit out there today, but if you're enjoying the above-average weather like I have, it's going to return, at least for a day or two.
Yeah, tomorrow we're back into the 20s, and Monday we're back into the 20s.
Beautiful.
Most of the next week and a half, it's kind of 16 to 19-ish. We'll show you that with the 10-day forecast in a moment. That's what it looks like outside right now, though. It's the River Valley Sky Cam brought to you by Action Furnace. Fixed right or it's free. 16 degrees and blue skies after a cloudy start to the day. Didn't see much in the way of rainfall. There were a couple sprinkles in a few neighborhoods, but it was mostly just cloudy through the first part of the day. We'll see the sun stick around again tomorrow. 19 in Fort McMurray, 17 in Grand Prairie, and 16 currently in Red Deer. You can see the cloud covers now breaking down as it moves off to the east and southeast. So pretty clear skies right across the province through this evening and overnight tonight. The exception is going to be by tomorrow morning, northwestern Alberta. You'll wake up tomorrow under mostly cloudy skies. Might see a few scattered showers, although it looks a little more likely for parts of northeastern Alberta tomorrow late in the day. You can see we're sunny for most of the day. Late in the afternoon, we'll see a few thin clouds push through, and then tomorrow night, this is about 9, 10 o'clock. Best chance for showers is going to be off to the west and southwest of the city, but here in the city, there's a chance we might see a few scattered showers. We'll get some clearing through the day Friday, and as we said, temperatures are going to kind of hang out in the mid to upper teens, it looks like, for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday before another one-day warm-up on Monday. We're around the freezing mark in east central Alberta. It's 2 degrees tomorrow morning in Fort McMurray, 4 in Grand Prairie. So you can see most areas are going to stay above zero. There are those frost advisories in effect, though, for the high-level region and east central Alberta, where you might see some patches of frost tomorrow morning. 19 degrees in Cold Lake tomorrow afternoon. You get back into the low 20s, though, around Vegreville. Fort McMurray, 16 or 17, and mid-teens under cloudy skies across the northwest. Sunshine, 22 in Red Deer. Should be close to 20 in Lloydminster. And here in the city, we'll see temperatures around 5 degrees tomorrow morning. So it will be chilly, but sunny to start. We're back up to about 21 or 22 by mid to late afternoon. And the wind stays pretty light, except around lunchtime. Late tomorrow morning, early tomorrow afternoon, for a little while, you'll see some gusts to about 40 kilometers per hour. There's your chance of a shower tomorrow evening, and then highs of 18 for Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Again, though, I'm really just trying to be within 2 degrees of these daytime highs when we're looking 2 to 7 days out. So I'm pretty confident we'll be 21 or 22 tomorrow. But Friday, Saturday, Sunday could really be anywhere between about 16 and 20 for daytime highs. So mid to high teens, maybe one more 20-degree day. Certainly Monday looks like a pretty good chance to be back into the low 20s. In fact, that 21 might even be conservative. We might get to 22 or 23. Long-range forecast. Hell yeah, there you go. More 15 to 20-ish daytime highs right through the first 4 days of October. Maybe some rain Wednesday of next week, although it's a long ways off. We'll see most of the next week and a half looks pretty dry outside of that slight chance of a shower late tomorrow night. Here's how those temperatures stack up compared to average. Look, the average goes from 17 degrees. 10 days from now, October 4th, the average daytime high drops to 13 degrees. So, yeah, temperatures are going to be cooler than they have been through the first 2 or 3 weeks of September, but still no worse than around to slightly warmer than average.
All right, Josh, thank you. Mad Canada is hitting the road with its annual school program to prevent impaired driving, and it's starting in Edmonton. This year's school program kicked off at M.E. Lazert High School. The one-hour presentation included several short films to illustrate the risks of impaired driving. The sessions conclude with testimonies from victims and survivors.
We find, of course, the victim testimonials have the most impact on young people. Hearing directly from victims who have suffered devastating loss or injury.
This is a really good presentation. It always gets me thinking.
This year's program also features an interactive quiz encouraging students to reflect on their choices. When we return, back to basics, taking the student job search to a university career fair.
Face-to-face interactions really help candidates set themselves apart.
Coming up Thursday on Your Morning, we continue to prepare for fall, getting your yard and your skin ready, plus a look back at the shows that we watched when we were homesick from school.
Your Morning Edmonton, weekdays.
Brought to you by the music of Star Wars with your Edmonton Symphony Orchestra. Learn more at winspearcenter.com.
Thousands of students at the U of A are getting ready to join the workforce. With Alberta facing high unemployment rates, the school held a career day to give students a chance to meet their future employers. CTV's Evan Kenny has more.
Thousands of university students piled into the Butterdome today, hoping to find a new job.
I'm here just to see kind of what other opportunities are available to me.
Jake Reimer and Zayden Bodie are both mechanical engineering students. They say it's hard to find a job as a student, so they've come here to see who's hiring.
We don't really have anywhere to go that tells you where to apply, so coming here and looking around, kind of seeing who is applying or taking these interns is kind of what I'm looking for.
Nearly 100 employers were at the event, many accepting resumes on the spot.
We are open to people who are looking to step into the world of the corporate environment. We provide the training that they would need. We're basically looking for people with the skill sets.
Face-to-face interactions really help candidates set themselves apart.
With so many candidates looking for jobs in this competitive market, the university says these in-person conversations can give you the upper hand. Last month, Alberta's unemployment rate for people aged 15 to 24 climbed to 17%, the highest it's been since 2017.
Regardless of youth unemployment rates, we know that university degrees really future-proof you as an individual because of the multitude of skills that you have to offer.
The event also offered resume review sessions and professional headshots. The U of A holds its career day every September. Evan Kenny, CTV News, Edmonton.
And that's our show. Thanks for watching. I'm Matt Woodman. CTV News continues right now.